This right here is one of my favorite Spider-Man comic collections ever. It's called Spider-Man, Deadly Foes of Spider-Man. As you can see, this is his mask, just very flattened out, and it has a bunch of villains about to attack him, like Stegron the Dinosaur Man. That's unique to have him in a comic. There's Rhino, there's a new character called Hardshell, Vulture, Dr. Octopus, Boomerang, and the Beetle. On the side, it has more Dr. Octopus. As you can see, it's mostly about the Sinister Syndicate. The original one, which was Rhino, who is probably the most famous Spider-Man villain on here, Speed Demon, Beetle, Boomerang, Hydro Man, and the Shocker. Bring on the bad guys, and yes, it does. This collects, I don't know if you can read it, but Deadly Foes of Spider-Man, a miniseries, 1 through 4, and the other 4-issue miniseries called The Lethal Foes of Spider-Man. This was the Sinister Syndicate's third appearance, I think, and this was sort of a precursor to characters like the Beetle, Boomerang, and Speed Demon during the Thunderbolts, and later the Superior Foes of Spider-Man Omnibus 17-issue series, which I'll probably talk about someday. That might be my first Omnibus overview. As you can see, since this is one of the older days, you see these, this is actually, sorry to go off topic, so this hardcover, Death of Jean DeWolf. Don't go online and spend a lot of money to buy that, because you get that and tons more buying the trade paperback called The Birth, oh no, not The Birth of Venom, but like The Origin of Venom. Well, wait one sec for me to check. I checked. It's called Spider-Man The Road to Venom. Secret Wars. That actually might be my next review, or one of them. I read this so much, I was at my library. Spider-Man by Roger Stern. Some people say Roger Stern is Spider-Man's greatest writer. This one I'm gonna review as well. Spider-Man vs. Silver Sable. That has the first appearance of the Sinister Syndicate, Amazing Spider-Man issues 280 and 281. Kraven's Last Time. I've never gotten that one. Birth of Venom I have. Torment. Again, I don't have. But here's this cover. This is really cool. There's Boomerang, Rhino, Dr. Octopus's tentacles, Vulture, and Hardshell. And just some information and cool pictures. This is issue 1. Of course, it shows the Sinister Syndicate right here. And basically, it all opens with Shocker having a nightmare about being killed by Punisher or Scourge of the Underworld. Spider-Man saves him, but just so a monster Spider-Man can kill him himself. And Shocker is sharing the same prison as Beetle, and he's being released today. Oh yeah, and this is kind of like a giant Kingpin plot. He pops in every now and then in the story just to talk to his assistant, the Arranger. I think that's the Arranger. Beetle gets out and he gets a brand new costume by the Tinkerer. I mean, it's not designed brand new, but it's stronger and whatnot. And he puts back together the Sinister Syndicate. Speed Demon comes in here, Boomerang's here, and he wants to be the leader. But Rhino says no. Also, Rhino is like the least villainous one right now because he wants to get his suit off and retire from crime. Boomerang has a girlfriend called Layla Davis, and she's the driver of the team. So Rhino almost gets run over by her. And, yeah, he follows them to Sinister Syndicate doing a giant gold robbery. They fight, and Spider-Man actually gets knocked down by Speed Demon, almost breaking his back. Rhino says no, do not kill them, and they all basically reluctantly agree, because Beetle is the leader. Boomerang, though, comes back, tries to kill Spider-Man. Spider-Man gets him captured. Okay, you can tell there's a lot going on in this series. There's just more and more, so there's a lot of backstab. Like, no one can really trust anyone here, and it's just such a great story, mostly because these characters had only appeared 2, 3, maybe 4 times. Oh, well, Beetle appeared more than that, but you get the point. Out of Sinister Syndicate, I think Beetle was the most used, even Hydro Man, even though Hydro Man's kind of like very well known now because he's with his powers, just Sandman with water. Basically, to be able to get out, he promised the Kingpin 100% of their loot on their first spree and 10%, and they just get mad at him, wanting him to, not be a leader, but he says, I have to be, and he gets threatened that if he betrays them again, he'll die. Now they work to free Boomerang, but in the end, Boomerang's lawyer throws him under the bus because Kingpin paid him for it. Speed Demon and Hydro Man don't really care about anything besides just getting what they want, so they don't have any loyalties in the team. It just leaves the Rhino, who just has his main goal of getting his armor off, so ultimately he doesn't care much. They fail at breaking Boomerang out of custody when he's at his trial. Look at that, somebody just whips him to a wall right there, Boomerang. And they go back out. Rhino decides to do, oh, there we go, one more job for him. There's the prosecutor, he almost get killed. I think it's the Beetle who kills her, the Sinister Syndicate who tries to kill her. Shocker's a laughing clown, but Boomerang's lawyer, again, because, or Boomerang and Beetle have the same lawyer, so they manage a plan to get Shocker out of, Boomerang and Shocker out of prison, and they go on. Rhino's doctor almost gets it off him, but Beetle, not knowing anything, breaks into the guy's place and kills him because he owed Kingpin some money. And, yeah, that was Rhino's doctor, so now Rhino's mad at them. Also, Shocker is still really shook up and, doesn't really have any confidence in his abilities, so he eventually quits the team with, or the team that's composed now of Layla, Rhino, Boomerang. Spider-Man confronts him because that's Peter Parker again. Peter Parker just stumbles into these problems by himself, basically. And, he decides to stop Shocker. They have a little fight. It causes commotion, and even more commotion happens. Because, the Beetle side of Sinister Syndicate, which I guess there's 6 villains now. Oh yeah, as you see, a big spoiler here, I guess, but Layla Davis becomes Hardshell in the next miniseries, and she is the Ringer's wife, the supervillain from Spectacular Spider-Man. Well, he first appeared in Defenders, issue 851, and then he was in, Spidey Super Stories, an issue of that, I forget which one. And then he fought Spider-Man in Spectacular Spider-Man 58. He was forced to by the Beetle because Beetle pretended that he had a bomb around the Ringer's, chest or something like that, or stomach, I mean. So, basically, Speed Demon, Hydro Man, and Beetle fight Boomerang, Rhino, and Layla Davis, and most of them get away. I think Boomerang and Beetle and Layla Davis are the ones who get captured. So half get away, half get captured in the giant fight, and it's all revealed that this is all for the Kingpin is still a disc. This is in the 90s that had all information on undercover police officers in the world. Rhino gets his suit off because this is before Amazing Spider-Man issue 344. They mentioned that this happens before that where Rhino shows up. So he makes sure that the doctor is okay because he helped Rhino. Rhino moves to New Mexico, and the Kingpin basically threatens him. And he decides to ask Justin Hammer for new armor. And that's the end of the story. Now we're back to Lethal Foes Spider-Man, which I think came out a year later. And Boomerang, Vulture, Rhino, and Layla Davis Hardshell are working together. There's still this special nuclear blaster. But at the same time, Dr. Octopus, his tentacles, his most powerful tentacles at that moment, have been destroyed. So he freaks out because he has a mental connection to them. But with his mental connection, he also picks up the supervillain called the Answer, who died, apparently. Or, I guess he didn't die, obviously, he's right here on this page. But he was in Spectacular Spider-Man issues 92 to 96. He was a Kingpin flunky, and whenever he needed a solution to a problem, his powers was he just created it. So he had super strength or speed, etc. And he goes to steal his nuclear blaster from the site. Dr. Octopus became, well, Dr. Octopus. And his brother, or I think his cousin, is this guy right here, and he helps Spider-Man secretly, and he also wants revenge on Doc Ock. So the team basically fights over this blaster. He accidentally hit at this guy. He turns back into Stegron and Dinosaur Man. He's killing everyone in Central Park. And, yeah, that's most of it is Dr. Octopus. He gets Answer to help him break out of jail. Vulture needs this to survive because, of course, he has cancer, and that can save him. The others just want it for money. Rhino's gonna sell it to get his family out of some place on the other side of the world. Stegron is there, and he actually ends up working with Beetle because he captures Spider-Man. Then there's a huge fight. The last 2 issues is this giant fight, just everyone going after the nuclear blaster, except Dr. Octopus and the Answer. Kind of just spy, which foils their plan. And yeah, then this secret guy called Strikeback returns. He's actually the Ringer. Yes, apparently Ringer did not die. AIM, after Scourge of the Underworld killed him and a bunch of other people, AIM recovered his body and turned him into this. Swarm also appears for just a few moments because he's awesome, I guess. He gets hit with the nuclear blaster and dies. Dr. Octopus makes a new pair of tentacles. And Spider-Man basically defeats them all. That's it. I mean, Hardback is here. She decides to retire with Strikeback from crime. I don't think she ever appears again. Oh, wait, she might have appeared in Thunderbolts. But anyway, and here's this cool piece of concept art right here of all the Sinister Syndicate villains. And that is it. So, Obviously, the first 4 issues are way better than the last 4 in this collection, but so many villains that are underrated, so many cool, fun moments that I could talk about it for a long time. I'll probably do it on my second channel, The Real Super Sam, someday. That's this trade paperback. I think it costed $15. Oh no, $25. Wow. You might have noticed that's kind of water damaged on the very side down here. And that is because I was reading it so much, I even read it outside and accidentally spilled food on it, or water and food. Oh, but that, it doesn't matter. You can still read everything. It's just the paper quality. And with that said, that's my review. I would honestly give this, just to have it, a 10 out of 10. These haven't been collected anywhere else, so definitely a must-have, even now in 2023. Hopefully I'm not messing up on that statement. With that said, if you guys enjoy, and have a great day.